Hello there, my good faithful YouTube viewers and listeners. It is the Jer Bear. Today's date is Tuesday, October 5th, 2021. Thanks for stopping by. So, I hope you're all doing well. I really don't know what I want to talk about in particular. It's just I've got the house to myself, and I can actually do this uninterrupted, at least with any hope. But I had the house to myself last night, and I recorded a daily rant that was like an hour and a half long. And for some reason I couldn't get it to upload, or I couldn't get it to save on my computer, the soundbite, so I just said fuck it and deleted it. And today I still have the house to myself, and I've got the peace and quiet, no interruptions, like I said, with any hope. So I figured that today now would be as good a time as any to record a daily rant. I don't know if it's going to be as long as last night's original, daily rant, but there are a few things I'd like to talk about anyway. So, Sunday was my mom's birthday. That's why there was no Sunday video update this past Sunday. I had treated my mom to breakfast. I had 3 eggs sunny side up. I had shoestring hash browns, bacon, sausage links, ham, and toast. And I had eaten it all too. I ate all of it. And my mom, she had a delicious farmer's omelet, and my mouth was just watering. She had this omelet, but I had a nice entree of food. But it was nice. We enjoyed a nice breakfast. We talked about some personal things. We shared some laughter. It all turned out well. I spent most of the day with her. And we shared a few good laughs, a few good cries, and it was nice. It was nice just to spend the day with Mom. And, yeah, she's 59, and all her brothers and sisters are gone now. She is the last of 17 children. I think I pointed that out before. And my mom is having a really hard time with this, not only because she is the last surviving kid of all 17 of my grandma's kids, but she's got nobody to talk to. Both of her parents are gone. In addition to her, siblings, all her brothers and sisters are gone. So she's really got nobody to talk to. And I told Mom, I said, well, you've always got me, Mom. I didn't have the relationship that you had with your brothers and sisters, obviously, because I'm too young to remember a lot of the things that you talked to me about when you were growing up. But I am here to listen. I listen without judgment. I listen so you can vent. I don't listen so I can try to come up with some reply to what it is you're saying. I actually listen with the intent of listening and letting you say what you need to say, and venting your feelings and your emotions and crying it out, and just getting it all out there. Now, my grandma, her mom, she passed away in October of 1986 at the age of 61. She had congestive heart failure. And that was one of the things that, my mom was getting really close to that age, and she's freaking out. She's panicking. And I told Mom, I said, well, you got to think of it this way, though, Mom. You actually go to a doctor to be examined. You actually get checked out. It's not like you're ignoring your health and saying, fuck it, I'm not going to a doctor. You actually go and see a medical professional to treat whatever it is that needs to be treated. And she's really freaking out about that. And, of course, the anniversary of my grandma's death is coming up very soon, and she's having a hard time with that. I think my grandma died on October 7th of 1986, which will be 35 years on Thursday. I think it was the 7th that my grandma Beulah had passed away. And I know that Mom is going to need someone to talk to. And she knows that I'm here for emotional support, and I'll do the best I can to help Mom get through it. And it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a rough day for my mom. But she knows I'm always here for her whenever she needs me, and I'm doing the best I can, which is all I can do. But anyway, yeah, my mom is 59 now. So I love you, Mama. Happy birthday again. I'm glad that you and I got to spend some quality time together, and I'm glad that I was able to take you out to a nice breakfast and we could enjoy the day together. And, Sunday was great. I love Sunday. And I will be back up to see you again soon. There were some other things I wanted to talk about, actually. We are in the month of October now, and not much was said about September. And of course, everybody knows that September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. I didn't really say much about the month of September on this channel or elsewhere because, it's different now. Like, most of the people I've spoken to in the past, or should I say most of the people that I've met through childhood cancer advocacy, most of us are still friends. We still get along. We carry on in conversation, and we check on one another every so often. We stay in touch, and they're always interested in knowing how I'm doing and, hey, what's going on in your life. Some of them were even questioning why I never really uttered any words about childhood cancer during the month of September, and I had to give my position again clearly, because obviously the first 49 times I had specified this, it wasn't clear. So for the 50th time, I gave up advocacy because I saw it for the train wreck it was, and continues to be, apparently. And I have no intentions of ever going back to that. But I still have my friends, most of the friends that I've been keeping in contact with for any number of years now. And most of us still get along. We still carry on in conversation, and we've been friends for quite a long time. I have cell phone numbers, email addresses, mailing addresses, things like that. So, I'm still keeping in contact in one way, shape, or form. It's just I'm not gold ribbon crazy. I'm not getting into this, gold ribbon frenzy and going on Facebook and saying, September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, blah, 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 blah. Because let's face it, it didn't make much of a difference then, and it's not going to make much of a difference now, which I think it leads me to say that CureFest is a bunch of bullshit. And I never really get pressed on CureFest a lot. But what I can say is this. When I first started advocating for cures in 2013, this is when I was just getting to know everybody. I was getting to know, the first person, honestly, I don't even remember who the first person was that I met in childhood cancer advocacy. But I remember these people who are now my quote-unquote enemies, which is, I don't fucking care either way, but these people that I don't get along with now, I actually used to speak to them. Like I was friends with Ronnie Duvall. I had spoken with Tom Mitchell in the past, and there was, once upon a time, I actually believed in what these people were doing. I believed in what these people were doing. But the thing that really made me think differently about that was the very first issue I had ever run into with childhood cancer advocacy, and it was a fight. There was a feud between these so-called advocates now. I don't even take them seriously because they're all full of shit. There was this lady who goes by the name of Dana Holly. Now, most of you probably know who she is. You're friends with her on Facebook, or you've heard the name somewhere. I was friends with her on Facebook. We actually had spoken over the phone many years ago. And, at the time, she seemed pretty cool. She seemed all right. But I noticed there was a feud going on between her and Ronnie. They had been at each other's throats for, I don't know. They were probably fighting before I even discovered who either one of them were. So it's really hard to say how long they were, feuding it out. But I had caught on to the behaviors of Ronnie. I spotted it, almost instantly. And a lot of the reasons why these people had cut ties with me, not so much rumors and gossip, but because who I was associated with. Ronnie had told me on the phone that as long as I'm friends with Dana Holly, I can't be friends with him. And he was lying through his teeth and saying, well, my attorney had advised me, fuck you and your attorney. You have the freedom to be friends with whoever the fuck you want to be friends with. Don't give me that shit. And then he actually turned a family away because they were associated with Dana Holly. And that's when I actually started to get a real glimpse of who and what these people are actually about. It's like, really, this is what I have to deal with? I'm just a guy who come from a shitstorm of childhood cancer as a kid prior to now, and this is what I have to deal with? Like, are you kidding me? That was the first problem, and then I had actually stayed friends with Dana after Ronnie decided to do his thing, and I don't know what he's doing now. Quite frankly, I don't care. But she had this, Dana had this Facebook group called the Concrete Circle of Change. And I'm thinking, okay, whatever. She's my friend. I'll check it out just to see what she's talking about. I was invited to this group. I decided to join it, become a member. And, I saw a lot of familiar names. It's like, okay, I know some of these people. We've spoken already. I've ingratiated myself with this particular group. And then at that time, my mind was in the community aspect of childhood cancer. But I was getting to know these people. And so I said, okay, let's check it out. Lo and behold, I guess it was a message, if I'm remembering this correctly, if I can recall. I'm getting a message from Dana Holly where she's actually giving me an assignment. An assignment. And I'm just kind of thinking to myself like, are you fucking kidding me? You're giving me an assignment. Someone who has actually gone through childhood cancer physically. My body has been through the most unimaginable shit you could ever think. I am the one who can actually speak on these things, and I tend to do things my way, and you're telling me that I have to get behind you and do this assignment? I have to complete this task, otherwise you're going to boot me from this group? You know what? Fuck it. Boot me from the group. It's not worth being treated like a fucking dog. I'm not going to be working underneath of you. And truth be told, I think that had a lot to do with why a lot of people just did not appreciate me or anything I've ever done, because I would not work under their tutelage. I wouldn't take orders from them. I was a guy who was saying, fuck you, I'm doing things my way. I've had to live through that reality on my own. On my own. No one's going to tell me how I do things. I do things my way. Always has been the case and always will be the case. I don't work for nobody when it comes to childhood cancer advocacy. I will do things in my own time when I fucking feel like it. You can like it or leave it. Well, she ended up leaving it. I think she ended up blocking me, and she's like, well, I can't handle all the fighting. Well, that was the first excuse. Well, there's too much fighting, and I don't want to be associated with people who are fighting. Oh, but sweetheart, you were a part of that fight. You were a member of that fight. So, I mean, what are you're going to, you're going to try to act all self-righteous with me? That's just not going to work. So Dana and I haven't spoken to Dana Holly in years. But then there was the Ronnie fiasco, and I tore him a new asshole, and he called me, threatened to beat my fucking ass. He was going to come to Michigan and, I guess, destroy me in so many words. And it's like, yeah, fuck off, loser, Then we found out the truth about him, and then we don't really hear about him anymore. He got ran off. He was ousted. And then from there, things just gradually got worse. Someone had drummed up this lie, the gossips and the rumors. That's when all that shit started coming out. And so the whole thing is just a travesty. The whole advocacy thing is just an absolute fucking travesty. And I noticed that one of my haters had actually just recently subscribed to my YouTube channel today. Hi, Mike Gillette. You can fuck off, Mike Gillette. I don't care that you're subscribed to my channel. This guy who is behind the True 365, biggest fucking liar there is. So I don't know how he could sit here and preach truth when he's been very deleterious in his behavior himself by fostering rumors and gossip about me. And, now that all of that had come into fruition where someone was lying about me and it was getting spread around to people who, they can't think for themselves anyway. They don't have a single independent thought in their own fucking head. We just read it on Facebook and snap of a finger, we believe it. You're a fucking fool. Then he threatened to call the cops on me. I've had the cops threatened on me I don't know how many times, and it's like, you people are fucking stupid. But anyway, so that's why I don't attend CareFest. Some people had brought it to my attention. I knew about CareFest. And it's like, I don't care. I've heard about it. I don't support it. I don't encourage it. Because it is a shit show. And like I said, it had taken me a while to discover what it was that was really happening with all these so-called advocates and activists, which these people, they like to give themselves a little too much credit, more than they actually deserve for things that, big fucking deal, so you paid off someone's mortgage. So what? So fucking what? We have some of the most detestable, disgusting people in the childhood cancer demographic. Let's call it what it is. It's not a community, it's a fucking demographic. I'm not going to sit here and play word games with people. It's a demographic. It's not a community. Communities don't behave in the way that those people have behaved. But anyway, I don't support CareFest. I never have. I never will. I've never been invited to a CareFest event. And it can burn down for all I care. It can go up in fucking flames. I really don't care about a CareFest because, to me, that's the superficial vanity side of people. They're looking to get some kind of publicity just for having a kid who died from cancer, or kids themselves who've survived cancer and they're trying to make a name for themselves. It's kind of a cheap way of going about things, but it's my opinion, I guess. I digress. And saying that about the parents who are bereaved, I don't want to make light of that because I have lots of personal friends whose children have died as a result from cancer, and they are mad at the fucking world, and for good reason. They have this fuck the world attitude, and I hope this earth, goes up in a big fucking fiery flame. I hope it just bursts into a gigantic fucking fireball. Everything I've ever loved is gone. I have no reason to live anymore. My babies are gone. Fuck this place. And I understand how that, that would upset me. That would make me want to say fuck the world. I don't give a fuck about what goes on. I don't care. So I do get how, the frustration in that regard, but I don't understand what goes through a bereaved parent's mind. See, that's where my advocacy stopped. That's where I said, listen, I can't put into words what you're feeling because I have never been through that. It would be dishonest of me to pretend that I know what you're going through, or to pretend that I'm so angry. Well, I am angry that cancer has claimed lives, but what I'm saying is what these parents are going through, what goes on in their mind, I'm not going to pretend as though I know what's going through their minds. I have no idea what they're going through. And that's why I always made it such a big deal about Ronnie pretending as though he understands this pain that I've had to go through. He's never had to live that kind of a life, just like Mike Tyson. But I have whatever I have against Mike Tyson for other various reasons that I've made very, very known to many, many people. I don't care what he does. I don't care how much money he raises. I don't give a fuck about Ellen DeGeneres. I don't give a fuck about cancer mom retreats. The guy is a scumbag. He's getting rich off of sick and dying kids. He preys on people's weaknesses so he can pay for his luxurious condo in Miami. He's a piece of shit scumbag, and he admitted to sexual, harassment. And most of these parents they don't seem to care. They can't see the forest for the trees because they're getting handouts. See, they let money cloud their judgment. You have people like that. With Ronnie Duvall, he was using childhood cancer to enjoy a free paid vacation across America. He wanted the best of everything. He wanted the best tires, the best, motor oils, all that shit. He wanted the best of everything at the expense of parents whose children had cancer. It's dishonest. And you're raising awareness to whom? Don't you think we're already fucking aware? That's why we talk about it. We didn't wait for you to come along. You came to us. We didn't go to you. And that is the reality. Childhood cancer was something that we had to deal with. But I'm not, I never wanted the vanity. I never wanted the publicity. I just wanted to look at a child fighting cancer and say, I'm here for you and I'm going to help you in any way I can. Even if it means writing a letter to you, or if I come and visit you at the hospital, I'll sit here and watch you kick ass on Fortnite or whatever game you're playing. We can even play cards. We can play goldfish. Whatever it is you want to do, I'm here for you. We'll chit-chat. We'll chill out, and we'll just hang out for a few. That's it. That's it. And the parents were cool with it. The parents were really cool about me, showing their kid attention. Like finally someone who actually gets it. You know what I mean? Like someone who's actually here for my child. Because they've been through the same shit that my kid is going through now. I think it was time for someone like me. It was time for a Jer Bear to come along and show these kids that, someone cares. And I think, like the rumors that had gone around about me, and maybe perhaps still are, at least I know they are, I think that stems from jealousy and bitterness, because I can relate directly to these kids and their situation more than their parents can, and they don't like that. They don't like the fact that I can actually talk about what's going on in the field and not just speculate about what could be happening in the field. I was in the fucking field. I was a soldier who fought to live. For Christ's sake, I've been fighting to live. I've been fighting since I was 2 years old. In one way or another, I've been fighting to live. I've been fighting to have my name vindicated. I have been fighting my whole life. Am I tired? I get tired sometimes. But I can't let up. I can't let people get away with, treating me like I've done something wrong. They had to come up with this rumor because they had it out for me anyway. They didn't like the fact that I was a little bit more closer than they were, and they just didn't like it because I could actually speak in a more profound, more eloquent way versus all these other people who can't even form complete sentences, let alone would they even know what the fuck to say. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. I'm not putting myself above or beyond everybody else. I'm not superior or inferior to others. There was a time when I got along with Ronnie Duvall. There was a time when I had reached out to Tom Mitchell and told him, hey, I think you're doing a good job. I like your work. It's very inspiring. And I'm a childhood cancer survivor, and I think what you're doing is great. And I'm proud of you, keep up the good work. I tried to maintain the peace with all these people. And because I had written a poem, that's what got the whole thing started. I'd written a poem, and the parents, I found out their true colors, and they're still creating fake accounts on Twitter and Facebook, by the way, running my name into the ground and saying that I've done this and done that when in fact I haven't, and they haven't been able to show evidence for the claims they're making. But I had written a poem many years ago, and their parents, mine's in the fucking gutter constantly, and the father is just off his fucking rocker in terms of mental health, and I don't I'm not someone to take cheap shots at someone for their mental health, but this guy is just out to fucking Pluto. He made a big stink about me, and he was saying, oh yeah, he wrote an inappropriate poem for my daughter, and it's like, you lying son of a bitch. Anybody could read it and know what I meant. I've been writing poetry for well over 20 years. I was writing poetry when I was fucking 8 years old. So I was writing poetry long before I even considered the thought of writing a journal. And I've been writing journals. This year will be 22 years that I've been writing journals. So I've had a life's experience as a writer, as writing, and expanding my vocabulary, stretching my words, and I say words that people don't understand what I'm saying. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? Which I think is kind of funny. If you don't know what it means, look it up. But they didn't like it because I was actually closer or ahead of them. I had a curve. I had a way of doing things that they couldn't speak on. And that was irritating to them. They didn't like that. Well, we can't let Jared Fuller get ahead of us because we have to do better than him. We have to, and that's what I'm talking about. It's all these people who, through no fault of their own, I guess, they're trying so hard to be the best. They want to be number one in everything. And that's the world we live in now. That's the reality we live in. That's the society. It's the culture. Everybody's striving to be number one no matter what the fuck it is. I'm not trying to be number one in anything. I never have. All I wanted to do was to reach out to children and say, I understand you're fighting cancer, and I had cancer too. And it's okay to be scared. It's okay to, not want to get pokes. It's okay to cry and scream. And it's also okay to smile. It's also okay to laugh. It's also okay to say, you know what, I fucking hate this. It's okay. It's okay. It's perfectly fine to say that. And because this is so personal between me and these kids who are fighting this, I can relate personally, and that's what most of these people hated. They fucking hated it. So they had to find, whoever drummed up this crazy ass rumor, they just needed to find a way to try to oust me by calling me a predator. Well, it didn't work, obviously, because I'm still out here, I'm still doing my thing. And by the way, I'm not a predator. Just because I show love and caring for a child doesn't make me a predator. It just means that, someone cares. Someone gives a shit. Someone understands the situation at hand. And, I'm not trying to bullshit anybody. I'm not trying to play games. I'm not out here, trying to convince people of anything. This is really and truly what I am. This is what I've had to go through, and this is my reality. As a survivor, this is what I deal with. Until the day I die, this is what I have to face. This is what I wake up with every day. The emotional issues and everything else that comes with that. I mean, these are real issues. And for people to, like the Mike Gillettes and the Ronnie Duvalls and the Dana Hollies and the Tom Mitchells and the Milk Tysons of the world, thinking that people have to work under their tutelage all the time. That's not me. I don't bend like that. Because you've never had to live my reality as an actual survivor and having gone through the shit that I had to go through. No fucking way. I'm not going to put someone on a pedestal and make them more above me when I should be prioritizing myself and what I'm trying to do. It's not selfish. It's not greedy, because I've been extremely eleemosynary in my efforts in raising awareness to childhood cancer. Extremely eleemosynary, and the fact that people don't understand that, they can't grasp that concept, that's not my problem. It's not my fucking problem, and I've made that abundantly clear I don't know how many times. And as far as the rumors are concerned, to get back to that, I've said this a million times. You have to show the evidence. Where's proof? Don't just say something and convince. See, what happened was, with a lot of these people who ended up blocking me, is that they weren't aware of the problem. And so when they initially hear something about me, which, of course, I don't think is a legitimate excuse, but nevertheless, when they hear about something for the first time, even if it is a rumor, they're going to freak and they're going to block. That's their, maternal instincts. Well, I'm sorry, but you're incorrect. You're mistaken. You had taken the word of someone, whom of which, by the way, there's no evidence of any wrongdoing whatsoever. I mean, one of my friends will even say the same thing to me on the phone if I called her up right now and asked her if there's evidence, and she'll say, no, not one lick of evidence. Thank you very fucking much. Not only is there no evidence, but these cowards, these people, and I think it's Russ Boggs. I'm convinced that it is Russ Boggs behind all these fake accounts. It's got to be, it's people who have a vendetta against me, whether it be Russ Boggs or Tessa Miser or Andrew Stevens or somebody out there. It's one of my haters, and I've got plenty of so-called haters. They don't hate; they're just mad at the world. That's all that is. But anyway, because there's so much cowards that they can't use their own name and they can't come to people with actual true identity, so they have to make up these fake accounts. They end up stealing pictures off of profiles, and they try to convince everybody that it's Amy saying shit. They try to convince everybody that my own dad is saying shit, or one of my other relatives, or even my brothers. They try to convince everybody, see, it's really your brother saying the shit. No, it's fucking not. No, it's not. You goof. You fucking nut job. It is not my family, and it's not close people that I know. Because trust me, it would get back to me right away if it was. Are you so foolish that you don't realize that I have lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of connections? I know people from everywhere, man. I have people who live in England, Canada, South America, fucking Cape Town. I have friends from everywhere. Globally, I have friends. And you're going to try to convince them that I am this bad person when I have never demonstrated anything of the like. What you hear on my daily rant recordings is me just, blowing off steam. It's me blowing off steam because I've had enough of this bullshit with these people being stupid and lying and being dishonest. And it started off with Russ Boggs. He kind of gave himself away. As I had mentioned in a previous daily rant, he was posing as Jack Karstens on Twitter, and like the dumb fuck that he is, he didn't stop to think, well, gee, it's dark in my room, but my cell phone or whatever device he had, it's glaring my face. It's glaring my face. Duh. Now I know it's you, motherfucker. And that's an undeniable fact. So now I'm inclined to think that every fake account from Jack Karstens forward is Russ Boggs. Who else could it be? It could be anybody. But Russ Boggs, I know it's Russ because it's always the same. It's always the same lame ass. Oh, Jared called my daughter and it freaked her out. My daughter's so scared. Motherfucker, I never called anybody's daughter. First of all. Second of all, we got to have some evidence that would corroborate with your claim. Like, if I'm trying to video chat your daughter, saying, well, I just got so upset that I got up and walked away, you're a fucking idiot, first of all, because there would have to be a screenshot of me chatting with a little girl, and then there would have to be audio to corroborate with that video. Not even a screenshot. You would have to actually have the video. Well, actually, the screenshot would probably be helpful, but Who have I spoken with? Who's your daughter? We don't know the daughter's name. We don't know the name. And this is how people should really and truly understand that the rumors and gossip is completely and entirely false, because names are scribbled out on the fucking screenshot of the alleged text that, oh, Jared was saying inappropriate things, and we called the police and he told the cops to fuck off. Well, I would tell a cop to fuck off, but I haven't ever told a cop to fuck off when it came to what they're referring to. If a cop is going to be tyrannical, I usually tell them to fuck off. It's not arrestable. That's freedom of speech. The thing is that this is all a conglomeration of bullshit fostered by people who are not right in the head, or they have no life, or both. Russ Boggs, he is a welfare recipient, 6 kids. I mean, if he's got a YouTube channel here, I've seen it. The kids look like hell under his care. I mean, there's one kid whose hair's not even fucking combed. You can see that. It's a disgrace. And I think what it is he's angry. I mean, he even went on Facebook and he talked about his personal life. Oh, I've been celibate for so many years. And he posted a picture of a tree trunk that depicted a vagina, and he said that he was excited by that. I'm not making this shit up. He's a disturbed individual who tries to find fault with everybody else. Sorry, Russ. Sorry. But that's not going to happen. And it's just like on Twitter. I mentioned a young actor from Canada named Julian Hicks. He says, I've moved on with my life, Jared, why don't you? Well, hey, Julian, guess what? I have moved on with my life, but the whole world is going to know that you're friends with pedophiles. So there you go. You have all these Twitter accounts with no real actual profile pictures. I have no way of determining if they are real people. If they are who they say they are. They're real people, obviously, but they claim to be kids. How do you know that? They're never willing to show their true identity, like Marvin Euler and that Christian Rocks and Logan Rocks. All these profile pictures of kids without shirts on, claiming they're gay. They follow porn, and then they follow you. But nah, that's okay. And that's why I had said prior to now that his mom has failed to keep these people off of Julian's shit. And he mentions, Julian mentions, my sweet dear friend. He's referring to Greg Murray. Greg Murray being the guy who literally whined to me in a fucking email. And he whined to me saying, oh, this actor and the actress are brother and sister. They're in college in my town, and you would think that they'd want to spend time with me because I'm such a fucking loser. That's what you are. You're a loser. Get real friends. Get friends who are more your age. Sick, not weak. What the fuck does that mean? You are friends with these same people, Greg. These accounts with no names, these young kids without shirts on, claiming to be gay, which I have nothing against gay people or the LGBTQ plus community, but they are simultaneously following porn while following kids. And you have befriended those people. So now, I often question what you mean by sick, not weak. Motherfucker, you are sick. Not, you're not like sick like puking or running a fever. You are sick in your fucking head. You're sick in your fucking head, dude. You're friends with creeps. You and Julian both. That's why you both get along, because you got a bromance going on. It's pitiful. It's pitiful. And to even whine to me in an email about, oh, they wouldn't come and see me because we hung out before. Big deal, dude. You know what? I got friends who are actors who live right here in fucking Michigan that I don't ever see. So what? So what? I've spoken to the parents of the kids who are actors. Yeah, and they were nice, but we're not arranging a meetup. I mean, if in fact it ever came down to it and I said, well, I'm going to be in your area, and I was wondering if maybe I could, we could meet up somewhere. I haven't done that yet, but I might. I mean, it's really that simple. Because I've talked to these people for so many years. We were friends on Facebook. I was friends with the moms on Facebook. And, their kids were actors or whatever, and they're from Michigan. And it's like, yeah, maybe if I'm in your town, maybe we could do a little meet and greet. We can stop and get, food or, drink, have, over coffee or whatever the case may be. We can just get together, hang out, and shoot the shit, chit-chat a little bit, get to know each other. No nefarious intentions. And that's another big issue, is that you have these people who think that I have some ulterior motive behind wanting to meet up. I really don't. I never have. I never have. But see, the thing is, I'm not going on this tirade about sick, not weak, like Greg Murray does, because he is, I don't know. It's too weird to me. It's just too weird. I'm not saying that Greg is a pedophile. I'm not saying that Greg would ever do something to a child, but it's easy to couple that together. And I'm not, downing mental issues or mental health, because we do need to look into this, and mental health is something that desperately needs to be treated and not just written off as you are what do you call that? You're a malfunctioned person, or you're defective because you have mental issues. Man, we've all got mental issues at some point. Everybody does. The world is a fucking mental issue. But I'm not going to say that he is a predator or, a pedophile or whatever, actually touch a child. I wouldn't say he has ever sexually abused a child, because I don't know. I can't prove that either way. And one of the bigger issues, even with Canada, is that their sex offender registry is not public like the sex offender registry here in the United States. Our sex offender registry is public to the fucking country. Anybody, or actually to the world, not just America. Anybody could access the sex offender registry. Anybody. I can guarantee you I'm not on it. I've never been in trouble a day in my life. And while I do have, the struggles of depression and anxiety and stress, whatever, I don't use that as a crutch. I still have responsibilities. I still have things that I have to do. I have to treat people with respect, or at least try to. I still have to share space and time with other people, and I'm not looking to hurt anybody, but in these daily rants, I understand how that comes off as such, where, oh, Jared is just shooting off at his mouth again. No, I am defending myself, and I'm telling you people what's actually going on. I mean, there was an actual father of a cancer warrior who passed away, and he was a registered sex offender, and they wouldn't even let him in the hospital to see his own daughter before she died. And that, that's shitty. That's shitty. But he's a sex offender. I mean, the nature of the crime was such that I guess he was messing around with some underage girl. So that prevented him from seeing his daughter. And his daughter is gone. She died. So, there's so much going on with everything in childhood cancer world that it's not even relevant to the shit that people are talking about. Like, oh, Jared is saying all kinds. See, just listen to his daily rants. He says the fuck word. Yeah, I do, and so what? Who cares? Who cares? Yeah, see, he says a lot of sexual perverted things towards these parents. See what I mean? He's a bad person. He's a bad person. Hey, fuck you. I am not a bad person. It's called retaliation. It's called payback. It's called freedom of speech. If you don't want to step into a bee's nest with me, my advice to you is to not run your fucking mouth about me anymore. Because I'll go fucking berserk on you. I will lose my shit. And you know I will. So let's not say we did. But that's where I'm at now. I mean, I'm apart from all that nonsense, all that noise. Life has been less stressful, not worrying about what everybody else is doing. Although I know that these people still lurk, like Milk Tyson and all these narcissist types, they still lurk. And when I started to see the childhood cancer world for what it was, and people who are just looking to hitch their wagons to our lifestyle to become stars in some way. I have lots of friends whose children are childhood cancer survivors, and even they don't behave like they're, like a Kardashian. Like they don't think they're above and superior to everybody else. They're regular people like anybody I've ever known in my life. Just like me. That's how we jive so well. And, that's why I call the bluffs of a lot of these people, especially Sadie Keller, which, I love and adore Sadie Keller. She has always been an amazing young lady. She has put smiles on so many faces of kids fighting cancer, and I just love her for that. She is an adorable young lady, and she's doing a lot, but I have to be honest, I mentioned this before, when she was in the room with then President Trump, signing the STAR Act, and she's just standing there smiling. For her, that was a look at me moment. That had nothing to do with anybody else. That was her, through and through. That was her saying, look at me, I'm so fucking special because I'm standing next to Donald Trump. And now I'm going to write a book called Better Angels because, I don't know, that wasn't enough. So I'm going to write a book. And Tom Mitchell gets a swelled head because Sadie Keller had written a piece about Tom Mitchell in the book. So now he's got a swelled head. And it's like, you people, you're doing exactly what I'm saying that you're doing. You're all kissing each other's asses. But yet you get upset when I say it. You're doing exactly what I'm saying you're doing. You're proving my point for me. You're illustrating my point. But somehow still, I'm the bad guy because I call it out. I speak the truth. I have never said anything sexual about Sadie because I wouldn't. But, I'm sure at some point someone will try to come up with some bullshit lie like that. And Sadie knows that I never have. And her mom knows that I never have. But it's obnoxious behavior with these people. Obnoxious. Vanity is more important than just doing something nice for somebody. Vanity has always been the main thing with these people. That's always been the main core, the axis of why they do what they do. It's not childhood cancer anymore. It's vanity. It went from childhood cancer, but now it's more about the vanity. Now it's more about the tabloids. It's about 60 Minutes and CBS Evening News and Inside Edition and Extra and all these other shows where these people are being highlighted and spotlighted like there's something special. Sadie, I love you to death. You know I do, and I know that I'm saying things that you don't want to hear, but honey, sometimes you got to hear the truth about yourself. I'm not particularly interested in buying your book. I'm not particularly interested in the fact that you stood next to Trump. That doesn't impress me in any way because you met Donald Trump. I'm not political, so I could give a fuck less about Donald Trump or Joe Biden or anybody. But I'm not impressed by you standing inches away from the president, from the leader of the free world. I'm not impressed. Because that's not about childhood cancer. And by the way, he signed a STAR Act. He signed the document that I'm still trying to wait. I'm still trying to understand what it is about the STAR Act that is so important and so special. What was the change? Where exactly have changes been made upon him signing that legal document? I have not seen any change whatsoever. It's all been the same as it was back when I first started raising awareness. Nothing's changed. I mean, Trump can smile at Sadie and Sadie can smile at Trump. Big fucking deal. I don't care. It was a show. It was a show. She did it for show. Because now, I'm sorry, Sadie, I know this upsets you. I know it upsets you, and I'm not trying to upset you, but I am only speaking the truth. I don't take that seriously. I'm sorry, I don't. You and I have been through a lot of things together when we were, you were a kid when you had cancer. I was just a little baby when I had cancer. So you and I can speak directly together. We can jive about things relating to childhood cancer, but now you've turned into a little diva for childhood cancer, and I have to say I'm not impressed. And that goes for anybody else. That's why I have another friend whose daughter she actually passed away from cancer, and we talk on the phone every so often, and she's talking about, the White House lit up gold. Listen, I don't give a fuck if the White House lit up gold. What does that have to do with anything? That is a virtue signal. That's it. What does that do? They're just saying, yeah, we recognize your month. We know you're going to be here for Cure Fest in September. Yeah, do your thing and skedaddle. That's it. Nothing is going to change. I know this is hard for you to take. It's hard for people to understand this and to accept. But you have to understand that nothing is going to change just because you want it to. There's going to be a Cure Fest next September, next year. And they're all going to be down there doing the same stupid shit. You're going to get, Tom Mitchell and Ellen Miller and Mike Gillette and all these other people. They're going to be down there. They're going to be, shouting through a megaphone. They're going to be protesting, holding up their signs. You are wasting your time. I'm sorry that you don't like that. But that is the reality. And I can almost guarantee, I sense this so much that I can almost taste it. Like there's almost a flavor to it. All of these people, when the government finally says, if in fact this happens, and this is a hypothetical, but let's say that the government says, okay, we're going to tip the next domino, we're giving it the green light, more than 4% for childhood cancer funding. Watch all of these activists and advocates, all these people who pride themselves on being something because they were pretty much failures at everything else in life. Watch all these people, these prideful people, these narcissists. They're going to fight over who gets the credit for that. I'm telling you it's going to happen. There's going to be a great big shitstorm. I guarantee it. I can almost guarantee it. I can almost guarantee it. You guys. See, this is what it means to be an outsider. When you don't fall for that superficial, hyperactive bullshit that they try to foster on social media about, well, you have to, I'm disgusted by the fact that no one posted gold ribbon. You know what? We don't have to. You're not obligated to. Just because you lived through something or just because something horrific happened to you, you're not obligated to show any kind of support. You're not obligated to do that. You don't owe your allegiance to somebody else. And really, what is Cure Fest? What is Cure Fest? I'll tell you what it is. Yes, they spotlight and showcase the children who've passed away from cancer. I'll give them that. So there is that. And I'm not trying to down on that part of it because, really, children die from cancer every year, and it's not something that is laughable. It's not something we should be making light of or making jokes about. It's a serious situation. I have very personal friends whose children have died from cancer, and I would never in any way make light of that or make jokes about it because they live through the kind of hell that I can't describe. So I'm not here to make light of that delicate situation. Even if you are Tom Mitchell or anybody else, I'm not going to make light of that. I actually sympathize with Tom because he lost his daughter. I don't know if he knows that, but he does now. From one man to another, I do sympathize, for Tom. I sympathize with him for losing his daughter, and that goes for any other bereaved parent out there listening to this. And I'm not just saying it. I actually feel it in my heart, and I really and truly feel that. I feel bad. So I'll give CareFest that. They get props for, recognizing the fallen warriors. but everything else is like it's a it's pageantry is what it is. It's pageantry. It's got nothing to do with being Alamasonary and anything. It's pageantry 101. What does Daughtry have to do with childhood cancer? Daughtry being a famous singer. He was there, I think, last year or the year before. Tell me, what the fuck does having all these celebrities, what does that have to do with childhood cancer? You think the government's going to change their minds about childhood cancer just because you paid some recording artist or rock star, you paid them Mooka bucks to perform some songs at your little festival? Which, how do you even call it a festival? Why are we celebrating cancer? Cure Fest, really? If there actually was a cure that we know of. By the way, I'm not saying there is or there isn't, but if we actually had evidence of a cure, of a panacea that would cure all cancers across the board, then I will support a Cure Fest. But until such time as that happens, you can take your Cure Fest and shove it up your fucking ass. It can catch on fucking fire for all I care. I don't care anymore. I'm separate from all that stuff. That shit doesn't mean anything to me. I am done with that stupid shit. Again, yeah, okay, I might have friends who are supportive of Cure Fest, or they say, you know, the True 365 is this, that, and the other. Fine. Eat your fucking heart out, but you know what? Don't expect me to support it. I see it for what it is. The rest is bullshit. The rest is bullshit. You guys are going to wake up and realize this one day. Yeah, September's over, and I'm grateful for that because I got fed up with, you know, just all these people who act like they're going to do something. They're taking a stand. No, you're sponging attention for yourself. That's all that is. That's all it is. And really, what was I doing posting a gold ribbon on social media? What was I doing? Virtue signaling. That's what I was doing. Because none of it matters. It didn't make a difference then. It's not going to ever make a difference. It's not going to make a difference tomorrow or the next 5 years. It's all going to be the same. Eventually you people are going to look back on all this and you're going to think, well, Jared had a point. He probably just could have not been so edgy when no. I told you, this is how I do things my way. I do things my way. Remember, you're on my channel. I'm not on yours. I didn't come to you. You came to me. So, I'll say whatever the fuck I want to say. I see it for what it is. The whole thing. And there's people that I genuinely cared about so much with all my heart. I cared about those people. They mattered. And they still do, even though we don't speak anymore. They despise me or think the worst of me for whatever the reason may be. I don't know. And I don't care. But as far as their children are concerned, of course I'm going to care about their kids. They're cancer survivors. They're cancer warriors. They're going through some of the most wicked shit you could ever imagine. Man. I don't know. I'm really just I'm at a loss for words. I think I pretty much said everything that needed to be said, and now Mike Gillette is subscribed to my YouTube channel. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, Mike. You can be subscribed to my channel. You can run back and tell all your flunkies about how I'm trashing Cure Fest and I'm trashing True 365, and well, that's fine. That's fine, bro. You can run back and tell everybody how I verbally dismantled Cure Fest and True 365. Ask me if I give a fuck, dude. Don't bother emailing me either. Because if you email me, we're going to have problems. So just unsubscribe from my channel, do yourself a favor, and walk the fuck away. You get 0 of my time. Anybody who's going to threaten me with the cops can fuck right on off. And Hey, Mike, on what grounds? What grounds did you have to, because you told one of my friends that you were going to call the law on me. Hey, by the way, you never did. Um, Tom Mitchell tried that shit too. He tried sicking the state police on me, and they turned his ass down because they said, well, there's nothing we can do. Jared hasn't done anything wrong. He's not breaking any laws. He's not violating anybody's, person. He's speaking his mind. And I lost respect for Tom Mitchell anyway after he fostered that gossip and that lie and that rumor. That really chipped away his integrity as a man. He wants to be everything to everybody, and his true colors had shown when he was sharing my YouTube videos on his Stillbury page and encouraging people to report me to the Michigan State Police. For what? For what? Speaking my mind? Fuck you, buddy. I don't give a fuck anymore. Go to hell. All of you, go to hell. You're just mad because I wouldn't throw rose petals at your feet. You're mad because I wouldn't genuflect to your sensibilities and ideals and ways of doing things. I'm Jer Bear, motherfucker. You're gonna learn that. I don't do anything that anybody wants me to do when it comes to childhood cancer. I do my own shit. And I don't do it for publicity. I don't do it for newspaper. I don't do it for magazines or TV, radio, podcasts. I could give two shits and a fuck about popularity or publicity or vanity or whatever the hell it is you guys got going on. I could care less. And by the way, Mike Gillette, seems that you're subscribed to my YouTube channel. I want to know how much change has happened since CareFest. Has the government made any big, monumental, volcanic eruption style fucking changes with childhood cancer when it comes to research and cures? Have we made any real major advancements? I'd like to know. Now, you can email me with the statistics if you think that your CareFest and True 365 garbage actually made one iota of difference. You can contact me, but I highly doubt that's going to happen because the answer to that question is no. We haven't made any real fundamental incremental change. We're doing this for show because nothing else matters. We found something. We found a way to get people's attention. We found a way to be pseudo-famous, and here we are. Childhood cancer, we'll use that. Tom Mitchell had said before, he had gone on record as saying that he uses that race he runs in, that marathon or whatever the fuck it is, as a vehicle to describe childhood cancer because we're all running a marathon. We're all running a race. Okay, so then the same can be said about all you people using childhood cancer as a vehicle for vanity. Right? Didn't think I'd know about that, huh? Well, I'm not saying your children didn't matter, and I'm not saying that children in general don't matter. I'm saying that you people are not truly legitimate. You're not genuine in what you're trying to do. Because, Mike, let's face it, if you really and truly gave a fuck about your about children fighting cancer, you wouldn't be striving so hard to make a name for yourself at their expense. So why not just give it a rest? Why not just let it go? You people really think I'm stupid, and that's fine. You can think I'm stupid, but at least I'm not like you, full of shit. I tell it like it fucking is. Always have, and I always will. Again, I'm Jer Bear. I'm Jer Bear. I'm not going to bullshit around. You don't think I haven't lived through traumatic situations in my life? You don't think that I haven't survived the worst of the worst? Let me tell you something about me. Not only am I a childhood cancer survivor, I've survived homelessness, I survived sexual abuse, I survived my parents getting a divorce, I survived bullying and harassment and and everything else in between. My brother got in trouble with the law. I had to survive that. I had to get through that, not having a middle, the one brother that I looked up to the most was never there when I needed him. I lived through some really hairy fucking shit in my life. Okay? It starts at childhood cancer and keeps going. I've survived some really hairy shit. But my nickname is Jer Bear because of childhood cancer. I've had that nickname since I fought cancer. It's been 32 years. I am resilient. I am one resilient son of a bitch, Mike. You can knock me down, but I'm always going to get right back up again. I am unfuckable. You understand that, right? I am not someone you're going to mess with. I'm telling you. So if you think you're going to, sick the cops on me again, you got another thing coming, motherfucker, because the cops aren't going to do shit. But whatever. You guys keep showing up at your stupid little Cure Fest shit. With any luck, it'll catch fire. It'll burn to the ground. I mean, you guys are just a bunch of sideshow clowns. That's what you are. If anybody really and truly gave a fuck, they wouldn't try so hard to be number one. They wouldn't try so hard to be vain. They wouldn't try so hard to be featured on, all these special, like these magazines and, radio shows and podcasts. And you guys are as superficial as they come. You think you've done something great. You haven't. You haven't. And I'm not here in any way saying that I have, because I know I haven't. You could be a grade school child and say, well, Jared Fuller, have you ever made a big difference? No. So what are you talking about? Hey, motherfucker, I can say that I haven't made a big difference. Not worldwide, but maybe in one person's world, I could help change something or fix something, but I don't have to go on a public platform, not even here on YouTube or anywhere, to say, I helped this person, where's my pat on the back? Where's my gold stars for being such a good boy? I do not bow down and genuflect to people like you. And that goes for the people on Twitter. I don't bow down and genuflect. My freedom to be a good person and to do the right thing and for the right reasons, that does not stop at your insecurities about me. That does not stop at your insecurities. You can think whatever you want about me. You're a fucking moron anyway for believing anything bad about me, because you don't have the proof to show that. This is what separates me from the idiots. I don't believe things without proof. I refuse. So, one day you're all going to have to grow up, and you're going to have to wise up, and you're going to have to look back and say, we don't have to like Jared Fuller. We don't even have to give him the benefit of the doubt. We don't have to give him the satisfaction of knowing he was right, but god damn it, he was right. He's got a big mouth. He's a jerk. I think he's a jerk, but he's right. He's correct. It's going to happen one day. I don't care if you think I'm a jerk. Whatever. That's cool. That's fine. But there's one thing you forgot to mention. I'm a survivor. And that's how I'm going to end this daily rant. I've been here for over an hour. I thank you all so much for listening and for indulging me for the past hour. My name is Jared Fuller, a.k.a. the Jer Bear. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. And email me if you feel so inclined after listening to my daily rants. If there's any content you'd like to discuss in email, please do. I will reply. But if you come at me in email being a douchebag, I'm going to chew you up and spit you out like the fucking little bitch you are. So, again, let's not say we did. But anyway, guys, I love you all very much, and I will see you on the flip side. So, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, as always, toodaloo!